Nebraska recruiting is starting to ramp up. The Huskers have a huge weekend ahead of them, a couple of 4-stars and even some 5-stars on campus. So in this video, I'm going to break down some of the players who are in Lincoln. What does this mean for the program, and will the Huskers end up with their talents? So without further ado, if you like the content, please hit the like button on this video. It really helps me out, along with subscribing to the channel if you have not already. We have been pumping out content throughout the month of January, so if you don't want to miss any instant reactions, film breakdowns, or recruiting videos like this, please hit that subscribe button. But let's start it off with this recruiting weekend, and man, just off the gate, from a pure talent perspective, this is probably the best recruiting weekend we've seen in some time as a Nebraska Cornhusker fan. You have a lot of 4-stars, 2 5-stars on campus, and this is what I like to call the Dylan Raiola effect. You get good players want to follow. Let's start it off just talking about some of the players who are in Lincoln, who will be in Lincoln. And this guy headlines the class of 2026, 5-star offensive tackle. I know a lot of people are going to want to hear that. Jackson Kentwell will be in Lincoln, listed at 6'8", 300 pounds, 3-sport athlete, plays football, basketball, and track. Just a straight brawler, man. Really smart kid. You look at his offer list, and everybody in the country's offered this guy. Alabama, Georgia, Michigan, Ohio State, OU, right? You name it. This guy has all of the offers in the world. He's already been in Lincoln a couple times. He wanted to come back. Man, you've got to lock him down. You got to build this pipeline, and you got to do that through recruiting, right? It's nice to supplement a couple offensive line transfers here and there, but the way you're going to build this right back to where it needs to be is through these high school ranks. And I understand he's a class of 2026 kid. He's not going to be a Nebraska Cornhusker if he commits for another 2 years, but it's still good to lock him down. Again, these guys will recruit other guys. I'm a big fan of peer recruiting. Offensive linemen know each other, especially in the Missouri area, St. Louis area. Lock him down. So Jackson Kentwell, man, he is getting fired up. I know a lot of people have been harping on getting these 4-star, 5-star offensive linemen. There's a guy you're going to want to keep your name on for the next 2 years. Going on to some of the next players. This guy was number 5 on my big board of must-get players in the class of 2025, Jaden Woods. This is the most talented player coming out of the state of Kansas. And a real quick side note on the state of Kansas, this is the best recruiting class we've seen from that state in a very long time. Plenty of 4-stars. Jaden Woods might be better than all of them. He's at that edge position, and speed kills, man. He has a great sense of the game. Really good kid, and he has been in Lincoln before, and he's coming back. This is a guy that Nebraska needs to lock down. They need to lock down that Jayhawk state. So keep your eye on Jaden Woods as well. Now, I talked about the Raiola effect just now. This is what I mean by it. We have not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 4-star wideouts coming on a visit this Saturday, and I'm going to run through them right now. Wide receiver Andrew Marsh coming in from Texas. He's a borderline 5-star, listed at 6'1", has offers all over the country. Then you have Cortez Mills, 6'1", coming from Florida. Quanell Farakin, I butchered that last name, 6 foot tall from Texas. And then last but not least, you have Corey Sims, 6'3", from Missouri. So, man, you keep seeing a common theme with a lot of these guys listed at 6 foot or taller, speed demons, guys who will have that 4.4, 4.5, 4.3 speed already suited to their name. So, and this is what I like to call, again, the Raiola effect. A lot of these receivers want to play with good quarterbacks, and not only do they want to play with a good quarterback, they want to play with a good young quarterback who's going to be there for the most of their career. And unfortunately, Dylan Raiola committed to us late in the process, so we didn't really get to take advantage of his pure recruiting that much. But trust me, it will carry over to the class of 2025. A lot of these guys still want to play with Dylan Raiola. So expect to see Nebraska make a hard push for a lot of these wideouts. But, man, that's like another thing to keep your eye on. And, again, I think wideouts are probably the hardest position to recruit just because they have a lot of offers. A lot of times they're more, I don't want to say diva-like, but let's call it what it is. They're looking for that NIL package. Nebraska, hopefully they land 1 or 2 of these guys. Now going on to some of the other guys in Lincoln. Chase Lofton, 4-star tight end from Omaha. Millard South kid, you see the helmet back there. Chase Lofton, man, this would be a big get, listed at 6'6", really athletic tight end. Nebraska needs to lock down Omaha. They need to lock down the Metro. This is a big step in doing that. Then you have another wide receiver on campus, and he's only a 3-star, but he might be the best of the bunch. He goes by the name of Bryson Hayes, another Kansas kid. and he's only 5'11", but I was looking into him a little bit, and he runs a legit 4.3 speed as a junior in high school. You heard me correctly. He was at a Kansas camp, and that's where he got his offer. He ran a 40 time for him, and they basically told him, "Hey, you broke our watch. I can't believe you ran a 4.3." And they made him redo it. He did it again. Matt Rule loves these fast kids. They love these track kids. This is what you get here with Bryson Hayes. So another guy Nebraska's looking to lock down in the wide receiver room. Just a couple others. We have Will Kemma, who's Nebraska lean at that tackle spot, another Missouri kid. And then you have 2 Nebraska commits already, in-state guys. Caden Vermas from Miller North, 3-star DB. And then you have Connor Booth, running back commit. So guys who basically are coming on campus to, again, get another look of Lincoln and start to peer recruit some of these guys who they're looking to join them in 2025. So that's basically who's coming on campus. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a couple more surprise guys. And the reason why this is a big recruiting weekend is you got to lock these guys right now. Pure recruiting is massive. I've already talked about it a little bit in this video. Especially when you're a 4-star, 5-star, you know everybody, right? From all these camps they're going to, these battle camps, these on-3 camps, these rival camps. You know a lot of your peers who are also getting recruited. A lot of times they try to pull some of these guys their direction, so you got to lock them down right now. And that's why Caden Vermas and Connor Booth are on campus to try to get a couple dominoes falling. The second point in all of this is you have 4 states Matt Rule needs to lock down in this class, besides the state of Nebraska. Number 1, Texas, of course, right? Matt Rule has already made that a point of emphasis with a lot of the staff that he's hired. Of course, with his Baylor ties, you got to lock that down. Florida's number 2. Again, that's a no-brainer. A lot of those Miami kids are so talented. Got to build a pipeline there. But the next 2 are so big, and they're bordering states. Missouri. This is big. Missouri has so much talent that comes from that state every single year, a lot of times in that St. Louis area, and there hasn't been one school that has really dominated the recruiting there. We've seen Mizzou come in and take a couple guys, Ohio State, Alabama, Georgia, Texas, but there hasn't been one school every single year that continues to build a pipeline. It's really always up for grabs. Nebraska needs to take advantage. Again, you see a couple Missouri kids in here. Again, Corey Sims, that wide receiver, and then Jackson Kentwell, again, the 5-star offensive lineman. Build a pipeline, start to tap into that talent. And then number 4 is Kansas. And I've already talked about Kansas throughout some of my videos before. This is the best recruiting class we have seen from that state in some time. They have 4-star upon 4-star upon 4-star, even a couple borderline 5-stars like Jaden Woods and one other offensive tackle that I can't remember his name. The point is this: Kansas is looking very promising. Got to tap into there, and there really isn't a big competitor. Again, Kansas Jayhawks, they shouldn't be a competitor to us. We should out-recruit them. Same thing with Kansas State. The team that I'd say is our biggest threat is Missouri, especially with their NIL base. And Missouri stole a recruit from us. They stole Quan Lacey from us in the class of 2024. They have a lot of NIL money from that Kansas City, from that St. Louis pipeline. We have got to combat them and get into Kansas. So, man, really, really big weekend. Let me know what you think about it below. Man, it's all shaping up for Nebraska. The number 1 step is get them on campus. Number 2 step is get them to commit, and let's get this thing rolling. So again, let me know what you think down below. Who are you most interested about? Who's going to be in Lincoln? And let me know what you want me to make a video about. Again, we got some more film reactions coming out soon, so watch out for that. But as always, folks, go Big Red, go Matt Rule, and see you in the next one.